Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Panic Attacking, the podcast where we look at anxiety through a comedy lens or comedy through an anxiety lens.
We'll fix it in the intro.
I'm Steven Rogers.
I'm Andrew Chavone. We're wearing the same shirt. I just realized.
No, we're not.
We're on video wearing the same.
You're colorblind, but I am wearing a different
color. Okay,
yeah.
We're both wearing dark tees.
Yeah, okay. Well, in this lighting, I can see where it looks like it's the same shirt, but this is green.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really thought that was. I honestly thought that was blue.
But you're not wearing blue.
I know. But you're wearing a dark blue. It's kind of like gray, I guess. Well, I'm obviously revealing my colorblind extremes.
They all know that you are. We're over that hump. Oh man, how are you, man?
Great. Good to see you, man. It's been a week. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it has been a long week.
I'd like to thank everyone who reached out. I got a lot of messages and tweets about how happy people were that I stood up for myself against the car dealer.
People were so proud of you. It was... My dad was like, wow, what a story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called my mom listens, but he called her in the room. He's like, get over here.
I think it's a dad story. Like my dad freaked too. He kept texting me. He was texting me quotes that I said. I think dads love good car deals.
Yeah. Must love car deals.
Cars for kid deals.
And before we get any further, I want to thank, as always, for joining us. Dr. Deb is here. Thank you, Dr. Deb, for being here.
Hi, guys. It's my pleasure.
Dr. Deb is
to the discussion.
Dr. Deb is a nurse and a therapist.
Yes.
So I have a health-related question later in the show that I want to.
Oh, wow. Teaser. Yeah, his health-related question is, what color is Steven's shirt?
Yeah. Can I have eye replacement surgery?
There are special glasses, that you can get to help with color blindness. I understand.
I heard those were a scam, but...
Oh, my God. We should get those and have you put them on at the show.
That would be crazy. They're $300.
Oh, well, donate for a 5-minute experience, everybody.
I looked into them. They're a scam and they're expensive. Maybe they're cheaper now. I think I found them right when they came out.
Well, I mean, don't get the cheapest ones. Those are just going to be 3D glasses.
Those are just going to be yellow tinted. Everything's yellow. Everything's a different color now.
The lenses are cheese.
Yeah, really thin cut American cheese. Thinly sliced.
How do you know when things are moldy?
I gotta double check. Usually there's fur on them. That's how I know. I'm like this apple shouldn't be wearing a fur coat.
You're petting it and it's purring.
I'm like, this apple must be cold in the fridge. It's growing layers.
Oh man, my cucumber has a turtleneck.
That's wool. Well, I think we should start off by thanking Ronnie, our loyal listener, has made cookies for the podcast
with our logos on them.
One is us as a cartoon. The other is the logo. It's from the Bake Smith in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm super excited. I told her we'd wait till we were together to eat them on the show. So, what flavor is yours? Yours in the back.
Are they both lemon something?
Okay, they're both lemon. Okay,
they're lemon sugar cookie.
These are a work of art.
They are a work of art. I feel guilty eating them. Also, I'm eating the one that's us. So I'm going to eat your head.
Well, okay. Well, all right. So they're all freeze wrapped or whatever.
Freeze wrapped.
What is it called?
Seal.
Vacuum packed.
They're sealed.
I don't know why I call it freeze wrapped. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Nope.
It's flash frozen, and there's a freezer bag. That's what I put.
I think you're talking about what Vanilla Ice does. He freeze wraps.
I think that's what Mr. Freeze does. Is Batman.
I give you the cold shoulder.
I like to ice. I like to dice. Now freeze. It's quickly not making any sense.
All right, I loved it. All right, let's eat these cookies. I want to thank you, Ronnie, for these cookies.
Ronnie. So thank you so much. Vampirella on Twitter.
Yeah, I went to find. Oh wow!
Oh my god! Wow!
Oh my god!
This is really lemony, like in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, mine's cookie. Mine's really cookie. This is amazing.
Wow, these are actually really good.
I got to tell you, whoever sealed them perfectly because they've been in my apartment for like 4 weeks.
I know you've been on the road. This wrap has survived your cat, the virus, your roommates who don't have any boundaries. And Ronnie sent us this really nice box with our names on them with cookies.
There's more cookies.
I want to take these home.
I can't wait. I'm excited. They're amazing. Now we're gonna be eating them during the podcast. We're gonna have our mouths full.
I know.
Ronnie will love it. And
how about we move them away from us?
That's a great idea. After I take this big ass bite.
I like how we have that therapist, Dr. Deb, listening to us eat. She's like, your chewing kind of indicated you were nervous. The way you chewed with your mouth closed is a great sign. Steven suggested we ate the cookies and then brought on Dr. Deb, and I was like, no, let's have her on. And then this took forever. All we did was eat.
Yeah, I was like, why don't we eat them before we have her come in so she doesn't watch us eat?
Well, lesson learned. You guys send us anything else, we'll eat and then have. Bring
if you guys send us like a foot-long sub, we'll make sure to.
The mustard spells out panic attacking.
Yeah,
on the turkey. I like to also thank our newest Patreon member, Darius, who that's his name, right?
Yeah.
His name is Earth Tones on Instagram. So our Patreon army is growing by the day.
That's right. We're down to, I think, almost 20.
We're almost at 20. You said down to 20.
Oh, I meant like counting. Oh, you're right. That doesn't make sense. We're up to 20.
Up to 20.
We're getting close to 20. Sorry, I'm still in cookie mode.
I know. My blood pressure is like pulsing. I don't think I'm not used to eating this much sugar in one sitting.
I think, yeah, good thing is for the two guys that are the most jittery and anxious in the world were eating cookies and drinking coffee.
But I got to say, this coffee with that cookie, oh my God. Mamma mia. That's a good combo.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Man.
Wow. Well, it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, man.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah, a lot has happened this week. And what's funny is so I got one follow-up about the car.
Oh, let's hear it.
So I told you guys last week how the trade-in was a piece of crap. It was like on the verge of death. Basically a useless hunk of metal that I somehow got this guy to give me $1,300 for, which is a success. But I got a call from him 2 days later. The dealer, Leo,
God,
called me, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to call me to say the deal's off. He found out the car is worthless. And I pick up, I'm like, hello? He's like, Andrew. I'm like, all right, you sound a little chipper.
Mm-hmm.
He goes,
I listened to the episode.
I have some notes. I don't like how I was portrayed. Oh, and I also put the video up on the
video's hilarious
on the Patreon. So you can't dispute the fact that this guy was a scumbag,
and that you were shirtless.
And I was shirtless, which I regret. But I was more comfortable for the negotiation.
Yeah,
not having a shirt maybe put me in the zone.
I could tell you were excited because your nipples were hard.
My back hair stood on end. Like a wolf.
So Leo calls you.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh God, the deal's off. I got to bring back the car and give him back his money. He says, you left your Easy Pass in the truck. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
And then he said, don't worry, I just drove it to Jersey and back, I just drove it around a little bit. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I'm joking. I'm like, well, you're going to have to type a guy to joke.
Wow, he's a new man.
I know. So I went to the dealership, picked it up. I'm like, oh God. But I had to drive it around with tollless for a while, which
After the thing you put him through, he probably like rubbed it on like a cat's butt or something.
He probably used it as a urinal cake. I'm like, this smells like pee-pee.
You're like, wait, this is sticking to the windshield and I didn't put it on the...
There's no Velcro here and it's sticking. What's going on?
What did he do to this?
So yeah, the week after that, for like 5 days, I felt like an adult. Like I felt super normal. I had writer's block.
Wow.
I felt like all I could do was write about the balance sheets and taxes and
picking the kids up.
Yeah, mowing the lawn. They're not even jokes. They're like, today I mowed the lawn, period. Felt like I've never felt like this combined with the couch I bought. I've never felt more like a normal person.
Right.
Like living on the edge and in squalor is where I'm in my comfort zone.
I know. I fixed Caitlin's blinker again.
Oh, really?
The other day. It keeps going out, and I fixed it in front of her, and I was like, I'm a man.
Yeah, you have like that grease all over you.
Yeah,
and she's like, wow, you're a real mechanic, and you're like, actually, I just ate a chocolate bar.
Ronnie sent me more cookies.
That's a Mars bar I had.
Yeah, I whenever I do anything on the car, I pour grease on myself so it looks like it was harder than it was.
Yeah. I have the same like oily rag I put over my shoulder.
She was like, Steve, you're just vacuuming.
I have like a really oversized wrench you see in like music videos with construction workers.
Yeah, but you're just wiping the windshield.
Yeah, I'm refilling the fluids, the windshield wiper fluid. But after that, you felt like a grown adult.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, she doesn't know how to do it, and I do, and it's a car thing, and I'm not a big car guy, and that I can just be like, oh, I got it, and do it real quick. It's the easiest thing to do in the world, by the way.
Yeah, you just pop it out, put it in.
Yeah, and the blinker. But like, I did that, and immediately it's like it's so easy. I know it's hot, like low on the car skills, but that I can do it. I'm so proud.
Anything involving a car is like a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like I changed the headlight bulb on the truck, and all you have to do is reach behind there, pull out the bulb, put it in.
Yeah.
But after you put it in and the light comes on, you're like, God damn, that felt good.
I immediately look in the mirror to see if I grew more facial hair.
Yeah. I'm suddenly wearing flannel.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Dr. Deb, do you have any insight on this? Feeling like a grown man, but also feeling boring?
I mean, she's neither of those things.
Yeah, she's a woman and funny.
Well, you're discussing, development and identity. And I think it's fun for the audience to hear you talk about that, because I think as we age, we always feel like a kid, and that's what keeps us going and keeps us youthful, gives joy to life, to be able to laugh at things and laugh at ourselves. And sometimes you just recognize that you're not that kid, and
yes,
you are an adult with responsibility. Yeah,
it's hard to laugh at responsibilities. I have to fill up my gas tank. But it's funny to laugh at misfortunes. You know, like, I'm stranded on the side of the road because my truck's a piece of crap.
Right. I've been doing the dishes, and I'll do the laundry, and then I'll do like another thing. Like I did the laundry, the dishes, took the trash out, fixed the blinker and all this stuff. And I was like, Oh my God, this is what I would sit and watch my parents do while I played video games.
Yeah. I noticed like if I do one like a mature thing, I'm in the zone to do a bunch of other ones.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I do the dishes, I'm like, might as well sweep and mop and
Yeah. It's
pay this outstanding credit card bill.
and the cops were right outside your door and they were about to arrest you for
credit card fraud.
Yeah. But they heard you and they're like, oh, okay, we don't have to knock.
All right, that saved us a trip.
Yeah.
We're gonna lock this man up in debtor's prison from the Dickens era.
Oh man.
Thank God we heard those clicks. We knew those mouse clicks meant. Yeah. That's something good.
Speaking of Caitlin's car, I forgot about this. Her car was making a horrible noise again. It's like I would go to hit the brake.
It was going, eep, the sound from Dumb and Dumber. The sound Lloyd makes.
It was, I was hitting the brakes, and every time it hit the brakes, it would go, and it was like this horrible grinding sound.
I think I had a loogie. Had to clear its throat.
Yeah, so I just put a mask on the car.
What would the mask help?
Like the COVID mask.
Oh, okay.
You put the straps around each side mirror.
Are you saying that because it has COVID, or you want to help it not get COVID?
So I could cough into the mask.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was great. The image of a car with a mask on.
I mean, that is great. It doesn't make sense.
It's not supposed to.
Okay. All right. I bet those will come out soon. Because, they have the eyelashes for the cars. So
yeah, Carvid.
Carvid 2020. That's the model.
The mini cougher. No.
That's the Carvid hatchback. I know. I give up.
Yeah, we got to leave this one. We got to jump out of this moving vehicle.
So what was happening with the sound?
It was the brakes and the rotors. Yeah.
Wait, what are you driving? A B-52 bomber? The rotors?
I swear they said rotors or rotator cuff or something like that.
The rotation of the earth?
Yeah, and we got it fixed, but I was driving with Joe List to a show in Connecticut, and every time I had to brake, we just thought, oh, we're going to die.
You're driving the car you just fixed?
No, before it got fixed.
Oh.
So we were just sweating the whole time I was driving.
Well, so it wasn't braking right away or just making a weird noise?
It would brake, but every time you would brake, it's just, that when you're driving and you hear a sound, when you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic and a car's making a sound every 10 seconds because you're just moving really slowly, start and stop. And you're like, oh, that poor son of a bitch. That was me.
The sound when you hit the brake was,
Yeah, it was like grinding.
Oh, yeah, the brake pads are low.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what was diagnosed?
Yeah, that guy came out with a stethoscope.
Because the brake pads are the ones that hold the pad goes into the wheel and slows it down. It's pretty primitive. I didn't know that worked like that.
Yeah, I picture like a Flintstone dinosaur grabbing it.
Yeah, a Flintstone dinosaur with like baseball mitts on each hand.
Yeah.
Grabbing the tires.
It's a living.
The pedal just pokes them. Time to do my job.
What's been going on with you?
So what I was leading into is, I had felt accomplished after the car, but felt boring. I was like writer's block. And then I got asked to do a show in South Jersey. And I was like, oh my God, I can use the car.
Yeah.
But it was, they asked me to feature. So feature for Emma Willman. She asked me, whatever. I did a sketch where Maddie dressed up as a comedy club.
Yeah.
And I had to perform in front of her. And Emma was at the sketch. So she was like, I knew her from years ago. She's like, do you still have a car? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I do. Pointed to it. It's glistening in the sun. Ding, ding, ding.
Leo's like, no!
He screwed me. He got too good of a deal. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do real comedy again. It felt good to be asked, and it felt good to have that on my calendar.
Right.
You know, so the week of, I'm like, doing whatever I can, Zoom shows, weird park things, but they're all like short sets. So like to get ready for the longer set, like of 25 minutes, I had to set up like Maddie's stuffed animals, hold the microphone we used to record, and run my set in front of the thing, in front of these animals, like I was a child.
So where were you stuffed?
Made in China, huh?
We got any bears in the crowd?
Oh, you guys look plush. So, any cuddling up, guys? Cuddling?
Who's cuddling tonight?
Who's cuddling tonight? What's your opinion on blankies? You guys work with them, or you guys have your own separate gigs? Can you have a blankie and a teddy?
Oh, I just got the nightlight.
So
I'm proud of that one.
But all the mistakes I made through the Corona shows that have been happening since like over the summer and the fall, I'm like, okay, I know. The main mistake I learned from was doing too much unpolished crap material. I'm
right.
Like, I got to cut that. So, and just all the other stuff, you know, to have, you know, all the crappy gigs that have prepared me for this gig, I feel like.
Right.
So I pick her up in the new car. She's like, wow, it smells good. I'm like, yes, it's new. Now that you mention it, no, that's not new car smell air freshener. That's a new car smell. It's a smelly new car.
She gets in, you're like, smell it.
Take a big whiff for this.
Smell the car.
I'm like, I have jars and I'm closing the lids to preserve the smell.
You're selling it.
Yeah. Car smell, everybody. All you can do is just open it and huff it once.
Yeah.
Right, that smelled like a new car. All right. I'm very unsatisfied here.
Can I have this? I have a date tonight.
There's people like touching my car and dabbing their necks.
They're rubbing their wrists on your car.
Yeah. I'm gonna get lucky tonight at the used car garage.
At the drive-in.
The drive-in. I think I'm gonna make a valet very lucky. So we get there, and it's a picnic area with a steel roof and kind of an elevated stage.
Okay.
And
so there's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling, which is good. But it's like in a rural part of South Jersey, like a small town.
Yeah.
There's bugs everywhere, like like swarming around me. And I they had like this like 18 pack of waters for the comics, and I swear to God, a mosquito goes into my esophagus, like where I breathe, whatever that part's called, windpipe. I breathe in a mosquito right before I'm like supposed to go up. The host is up. I breathe in a mosquito. So I just start chugging these bottles of water to clear it out,
to drown it,
the skeeter. And the host of the show is like this older comic. I don't think he like has been outside lately. He's like talking my ear off. I'm like coughing. He's like, I used to do gigs with Artie Lang. One time we were in this Jersey town. The chief of police of the town came, gave Artie cocaine from the evidence locker. I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, please get away from, I can't listen to this. I'm literally dying right now. I guess that's an interesting story, but please get away from me.
Leave me alone. My throat is itchy.
Yeah. You get the chief of police over here to give me CPR?
Or shoot down my throat to kill it.
Yeah. Get the fire department, please. I need that hose.
So you're chugging waters.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm chugging waters. I feel better. Like I think I got it out of my system. I literally there's like empty bottles of water all around me, like a wall of a water wall. So they bring me up, and how's this for a opener?
Oh boy.
I say I'm because they were good for the host.
Great.
I'm not, so I go, I'm glad you guys were good, because this is the first gig I've ever done where I can literally hear crickets.
In fact, I ate one before I came up.
Good protein in these crickets.
How'd it go?
Big, like, huge laugh. I go, this is where the first comedy show ever was. A huge laugh. I'm just like, there's a man in the backyard burning, like he's like having a bonfire in his backyard.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy was indicted. He's burning the evidence.
That's great.
The mosquito gave me superpowers. I'm killing. I kill for the entire set.
That's
I can't believe
great.
it. I remembered all my jokes. Doing the stuffed animals helped.
Oh. Did you use it on them?
We use all the saves.
Yeah.
Wow, this is more like a vinyl toy crowd. You guys are stuffed.
What's the deal with action figures? Why do they think they're so cool?
So it felt great. I did so well where I was like, oh, I hope the headliner who asked me does well, because I think if if they don't do well, they blame you. And then she does great. So
man,
great show all around. And then it was awkward afterwards because the audience was like, I don't know if we should talk to you. And I'm like, oh. I had all the stickers in my hand. No one came up to me because it was so weird, awkward afterwards.
Did you plug it on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So that's good. But none of these people look like they were all kind of older.
Right.
Maybe they did. Maybe they listen to podcasts.
Well, I'm sure they could.
There's like people standing outside of your window.
Oh, that's our fans. We're doing a live show.
Yeah. Woo! Panic attacking.
Have another cookie.
They're looking at us and we're looking at them because the lights are on in here so they can see us.
Oh yeah. No, they're not looking at us. They don't care.
Okay. So then on the drive back, I like around close to the end of because this is South Jersey, closer we get, I see the New York skyline and I'm like, oh my God, I have to pee. All those bottles of water I drank. I had like kicked in and I'm like, okay, well, we're almost, she lives downtown, Emma lives downtown, so we're almost to the Holland Tunnel. I'm like, we're going to go past the Holland Tunnel. I'll drop her off. I'll be home in 20 minutes. I'll pee.
Right.
Get to the Holland Tunnel.
Oh, God.
Closed. Completely closed. Cones are set up. Barricades are set up. I'm like, what is going on? And then there's like, there's a sign that says detour. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's a different entrance to this tunnel. The detour leads to the Lincoln Tunnel. I had to drive through all of North Jersey, Jersey City, Hoboken. It added 40 minutes of the trip.
Oh my God.
And then I guess the west side's closed. She lives downtown, so I had to go all the way across Manhattan to the FDR, which is on the other side, downtown. And the whole time I'm like, I never had to pee this bad in my life. I'm like, I'm sweating. I'm shaking my leg.
Did you tell her?
No, because I'm like, I don't want to. It's the first gig I've ever done with her. I don't want. And New York City, everything's closed after 11. We got to town at midnight.
Oh my God.
There's literally nowhere to pee. There's no restaurant open, no bar open. There's no store. There's definitely no porta potties. So
oh my
I
God.
can't be like, hey, hold on, let me try to pee on this street. And and plus I was traumatized. We talked about this on the bonus, but we were in a party and somebody peed in the backyard and all the girls freaked out.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I can't pee in front of this woman. So I'm like, I think I'll probably make it. I'm like, so we're like 20 minutes away. I'm like loosening my belt. I'm figuring that will relieve some pressure on
I've seen you do that.
I've seen my. Oh yeah, that's like red alert move.
I've seen you do that, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's gonna explode.
I know. I hope she didn't. She didn't see.
You did it when she was in the car.
Yes, because I had to pee real bad.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
You don't undo your belt when a woman's in the car.
I did it real subtly. She was like looking at her phone. I kind of like. I was looking straight ahead doing it. It looked like I was just scratching myself. So we're like 10 minutes away from her house. She's like trying to talk to me. She's like, "Oh, am I watching any shows lately?" "No, I'm not watching any shows." I'm like sweating pee right now.
You're like, "Yeah, have you seen Burst at the Seams?"
Explosion Ninja. Water balloon bladder.
Have you seen Fire Hose?
Waterfall. River runs through it and my pants because I'm about to pee them.
Have you seen Number One?
I'm like, I can't tell her. If I tell her I have to pee, she's gonna feel bad. I don't.
Right.
I don't know what to do. I'm like dying. I feel like my kidneys are about to blow. So many bottles of water I had, and it's just the mind screw of you're almost there at the tunnel. You're like, I'm almost home, and then you can't. You got to go even further and wait even more. So I'm like, and then. I finally get to where her house is, and I had put in the wrong address. It was like a different W. Downtown is like so confusing.
Right.
So
How far away were you?
It was like, thank God, like 5 minutes.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm driving, and I finally pull in front of her building. She's like, "Okay, let me just get my stuff." And she's like, she had opened her bag, and it was all a mess. And I'm like, "Get out of here! Get out!" Every time it was just like kept moving the goalpost forward of me reaching. So finally she packs up her bag, gets out. Usually I would wait for you to get in the building.
Right.
But then she goes through her bag on the street. She's like looking through it, making sure. So I'm like, I just squeal out the tie, burn the rubber away from her. And I by now it's like I'm about to pass out. It's like emergency. I pull into an alley because there's those, and I just go and I just pee like gallons of pee. I'm like, it's for my health. If the police stop me, I'll be like, it's really I can't do anything. I need a letter from Dr. Deb to
yeah, you're calling your doctor. Text me a note. I have to pee.
But thank God, the state of the city, there's literally no one downtown. It's like a ghost town.
Right.
No one lives down there. There's no buildings open down there. So it was like
a wet ghost town.
Yeah. It was just me and a puddle of pee.
There's a phantom next to you. What you doing? Oh.
All right, Dr. Deb, what do you feel? What are the health consequences? I wanted to ask you this. What are the health consequences of not peeing, holding your pee in too long?
Well, it sounds like it was a lot of pain. That's a consequence.
It was so much pain.
So much pain. Yeah.
Can you have liver damage? Because I felt all night, the rest of the night, I felt like I had blown an artery or something. Like I felt like I had pain in my neck and in my back. I really felt that all. Is that something that can happen? Can your blood vessels burst from pee holding?
No, your bladder's like a balloon, so it was just expanding. It's a vesicle. The kidneys filter the urine that goes through a tube into the bladder, and the bladder stores it. So what you were experiencing was the bladder was telling you it just couldn't stretch anymore.
So the belt loosening helped?
It's just really helped you feel like you were doing something. What you were saying, you were shaking your leg, and so you were feeling pain. And
I was pinching my leg too to like take my mind off of my bladder. I was like digging my fingernails into my leg.
You're like, Emma, shake your legs. Let's see if this helps.
Loosen your belt.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
So it just underscores that, now you know why parents say, do you have to go to the bathroom before you get in the car?
And the funny thing is, I did pee before I left, but I peed not the bottles of water I drank. Something, whatever I drank on the way down, I think.
That was the opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
really
prelude,
sad.
the prequel.
It's really sad that there was no place to pull over.
So sad. So sad. I mean, I can't get over it. There should be public places.
Andrew's going to run for mayor.
But honestly, like if there was a public place downtown, you'd walk in and somebody put a bag over your head and ship you off to Puerto Rico, or Hungary to harvest you for organs. I feel like
don't take the bladder.
Yeah. They take out my bladder, it explodes, and they takes out the whole operation.
It's like the when the bank robbers open and the paint thing explodes.
Oh yeah, when the money, the ink thing and the money, yeah, they're all covered in yellow. They're like, that's him, officer, the yellow guy. Yeah, really, because it's so. I feel like people would live in the bathrooms. I feel like that's why they don't have them open all the time.
Now, what is your Dr. Deb, your opinion on him not being able to tell his passenger that he has to pee?
Yeah, that's part of that social anxiety. But I was also thinking you had all that self-talk, right? That it's only a little ways longer. I can do this. I can do that.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of evidence that how you think can control how your body responds.
Totally.
Like if you suffer from panic disorder or panic attacks or, severe anxiety, how you self-talk, like I can take care of this. I'm good to go. I can manage the situation. That will take over and help reduce the symptoms that you experience.
Wow, that's true. I know it is very mind over matter, but
mind over bladder.
Mind over bladder.
No, but practicing that self-talk definitely helps reduce what we talked about before, that lizard brain kind of reaction. It just makes the lizard brain feel like it's safe and it doesn't have to react. But to Stephen's question about the not being able to tell your ride along that you had to go to the bathroom, that's part of the growing up process. So you have a couch, you have a car, and the next thing we'll be able to say, I have to go to the potty.
One day.
When did you know you were a man, Andrew? When I told my passenger I had to go pee pee. That's killer.
I had to tinkle. But let's talk it out. If I told her I had to pee and there's nowhere to pee, what would she do?
For one, you could joke about your discomfort together.
But that talking about would make me want to pee more. I mean, I feel like we're talking about pee too much.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's probably true. But at least she would understand why you were difficult to engage in a conversation about movies.
Yeah.
And doing, just say, I'm really sorry. I have to go to the bathroom.
When I unbutton my pants, I like everyone in the room to know why I did it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true. Oh man,
that was fun.
All right. Okay. Let's get into you now. You got a real, this one is on theme from the teaser Stephen told me before we recorded.
And it kind of relates to what she was just saying about mind over matter.
Okay.
So we'll get to that because she sort of referenced it. So last night, I did a show in the park, in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
I come home and I'm hanging out with Bowie and just relaxed, totally fine. And Caitlin comes home, and I start to make us dinner, and I'm just cooking. I'm standing in front of my stove cooking, and all of a sudden, immediately my brain goes, something's wrong, and I'm in, like, my whole body goes flush, and I can't breathe.
My God.
And but I'm like, I'm not in any physical. I didn't feel like there was any physical pain, and I'm like, I know what this is, and I'm like,
A gas.
then I farted, and that's it. So what do you? But I was like, okay, something's wrong. I can feel it. And Caitlin walked by, and I'm just like standing there, like over cooking chicken. So it's like there's things cooking, and I'm just standing over it, like just processing. And she's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty positive this is a panic attack."
Wow.
And it felt good to say it out loud. And she was like, "Okay." And I have to give her all the credit in the world. Every time I've ever told her that, she's taken it seriously and been like, all right, what do you need me to do, kind of thing. And I was like, it's not, you don't have to baby me or anything, but I want you to know what it is. So I'm going to be acting weird. And then I immediately go to the talks we've had
on the show.
I'm like, okay, I know it. I called it a panic attack out loud. And now I'm telling myself, this is a panic attack. That's all it is. You're not dying. That's what this is. It's probably going to be about 20 minutes.
Oh, cool.
And that was comforting. And then, so just like, I'm just like doing the chicken, just like moving, just to move my hands to get some of the energy out.
Okay, you're just poking your chicken.
I'm like, Caitlin, that's the only reason my pants are undone. But no, it was making chicken tacos, so I was just like stirring it and everything, and like cook.
Okay.
But I'm like, Caitlin, you're gonna have to tell me when this chicken's done because I'm not even paying attention. I'm just moving my hands.
I'm picturing a whole chicken in a tortilla.
It was alive.
The legs and the head sticking out.
And I turn off the stove, and I'm like, and then I sit down and I grab a pillow, and I'm like I thought about the one I had with you one time where I had to hug it out.
Oh, right.
So I'm like hugging this pillow, and then like she's like, "Are you all right?" And then all of a sudden I just bursted out crying, not like sobbing or anything. It just came out. Like I wasn't emotional, but it just started flowing out of my face. And then,
oh my God,
yeah. And then I was like, I think that's all. What's that happened?
You number one out of your eyes.
I pulled into an alley and just you got me on that one. And then I started to come down, and I was fine. And then all of a sudden, I was like making a million jokes a minute to like
the chicken. Hey, excellent.
So where are you from, Plucker? I don't know. We're
I seem to have flown the coop. Sorry.
Any free ranges here?
This chicken is grade A.
Man, these are way worse than the stuffed animal ones.
I know. I can't. I'm blanking on chicken stuff.
I know. I'm cooked.
You guys look like you have some scratch. Chicken scratch.
Oh man, and then I'm just making jokes, and then it was over, and then I felt fine, but I was like, wow, I had one, and I wrote it decently, and then that was it. But huge. I still had that nervous energy throughout the rest of the night, so I took that weighted blanket that my parents gave me.
Oh,
and that that helped me big time as far as sleeping.
Oh, that's crazy. So you did it all by yourself? It was just you and the chicken?
No, Caitlin was a
Oh,
huge
she
part
she
of
was
it.
in the kitchen too?
I sat down after I knew that the chicken was cooked, and she told me it was, and then
And your goose is cooked.
I was running. I was running around like a chicken with a head cut off. But I sat there, and when she like patted, like put her arm around me, and like, "Are you all right?" And I just started. It's like she hit a button on my back, and it released tears, which I've never cried during a panic attack, to my knowledge.
Wow.
And then so she was a big help throughout it, just letting me talk through it and everything, and that was about it. But we had a marriage talk not that long ago, and she thought it was because of that talk. So I had to tell her that it had nothing to do with her. It's just a random panic attack.
Maybe it did. We'll have Dr. Deb weigh in here.
Yeah.
What do you think of Steven's panic attack and the possible causes and why he cried?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm sorry you had to experience that. And,
Thank you.
I'm sure that the uncertainty of panic attacks is very troubling.
Yes.
Yeah.
They scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, and rightly so. But you did really well.
Oh, thank you.
Distracting yourself and telling yourself, oh, this is what it is. So you recognized it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have gotten worse, but it didn't, right? You contained it as much as possible.
Right.
And then the tears at the end, our body's pretty magical. It has that sympathetic response, that fight or flight response, but it also has a balancing response to relax the body again and calm it down. And that's where the tears come from.
Wow.
That it's called a parasympathetic response, and it will just calm everything down. Yeah, and maybe you had to, felt like you had to go to the bathroom, or some people say
I did.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell Caitlin the whole time.
Yeah,
DP
some people say they, get diarrhea. That's that
Diarrhea?
Oh, I'm glad I had tears.
Yeah, really, you got the best option
or feel
here.
like they have to go to the bathroom or throw up. That's that parasympathetic response.
Wow.
Anyway, well, the question about Caitlin's question. So, those kinds of discussions is about partnerships and making decisions are not so much stressful, but they do cause emotion, and that making decisions can be anxiety provoking. But I would think it might have more to do with your being on the road and coming home.
I agree. I feel like since I've been home, I haven't really relaxed or
Right.
sat down.
Oh.
Yeah. So sometimes it's really tricky. Our emotions the mind kind of knows when it's safe, right? So probably the whole time you're on the road, since you've had these experiences, you're thinking, I gotta maintain control. So you did everything you could to maintain control. And then when you're home and you're like standing at the stove cooking dinner and you're with your partner, what could be more safe than that, right?
Right.
So it's like, if it's going to happen, now's the time for it to happen.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That was the first time since I've been back that we were alone, just me, her, and the cat, and we had the rest of the night to ourselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Wow, you nailed it, Dr. Deb.
That makes so much sense.
Right. So, moving forward, you might want to journal about how you handled this situation and how successful it was, right?
Wow. Yeah.
It was a successful panic attack, and that you now have this noticeable sustaining support from your partner. So if you journal about that, and then when you go away, rather than have the anticipation, the what ifs, you have a plan for, okay, so if there's a panic attack, what do I need to do? Right. And so be prepared rather than avoid it. Right. Have a plan to uh, a plan of attack rather than a plan of avoidance, and all that anxiety that builds up about the what ifs.
Wow.
Well, you go. That's great.
That was wonderful.
I'm still thinking of chicken puns, but so that's where my head's at.
I had one for the. Have you been watching anything lately when you were in the car and you had to pee?
Uh-huh.
And you could have said the born urination. Okay.
Are you listening? I'm watching the Yellow Brick Road.
Dr. Deb, that's the most helpful thing because I felt like I handled it well, but I didn't tell myself that. I just was glad it was over. So that's, you're right. I should give it credit.
It? I mean, you.
Me. Me.
Yeah,
and then,
you did it.
And then also Caitlin, I'm more than happy to praise because those aren't easy to handle on the other end either.
And the marriage talk, that's something we should get into later. That's a huge nugget.
Oh, well, I mean, it's nothing anytime soon. We were just talking about the subject, and she was worried that it made me nervous, but it didn't.
Okay.
No, I would totally have brought it up by now. You think I would have not?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that's pretty huge of you.
Yeah, no, we just had a discussion, and it went well. We're talking about her marrying somebody else.
You're negotiating the dowry of this other man.
Yeah.
You did acknowledge the panic attack. You said this is what's happening. But the other thing that you did, Stephen, was you asked for help. Right? And you included your partner. So it's not for our partners, we want to help the person we love. That's a way of showing caring and affection. So it's not a burden to her. It's inclusive of her.
Right.
So that only builds your relationship.
Wow.
But
built a relationship with them?
The fact that you asked for help is
help me, please hold a bottle here.
Right. No, that's a big step, right?
Yeah.
Because it's also a message to that lizard brain that, hey, I got friends here, so
right. I have backup.
You can't overpower me. So
wow.
That's just like in wasn't there like a kids movie where that happened, where they're like, the movie It.
Oh yeah,
we're all together. You can't defeat us.
Oh yeah,
isn't that you saw it, right?
I haven't seen it.
You disagreeing with me?
No, but I mean I know that they all came together at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's a good movie for a metaphor. What you guys had talked about before about seeing anxiety as that creature, right?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
A monster. Yeah, that's good.
It's the evil.
Yeah, so by asking
clown monster.
Yeah, by asking for help and getting support, you overcome that feeling of helplessness, because now you know that somebody else is going to help you through this. But if that worst case scenario, you'll be taken care of, right? So there's a lot of subtle messages and benefits by getting help in the situation and being open about it.
Man,
that's great. That's great, Dr. Deb. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay, so we got to get into listener topics, Dr. Deb.
Yeah, we've got a bunch.
Yeah, let me go over here with this.
Yeah, sure.
Somewhere. Oh, this is pretty good.
Sweet.
Oh, wait. We had one.
Oh.
We had one that kind of related to Steven's thing. Let me just pull it up. The newest Patreon guy actually sent us a message. Where'd it go here?
Darius,
Earthstones 25. He said, one time he had a panic attack that lasted 4 hours. And I felt numb and tingly all over. It felt like fight or flight was kicking in. My heart rate went up. She said, is that what's going on there? He went to the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
Can panic attacks last 4 hours, Dr. Deb? Because I texted him. I'm like, I don't think they do.
Well, the anxiety response can. I wouldn't say the panic attack can't, but the anxiety response with the tachycardia and that feeling of tingling sensations and all that's part of the hyperventilating. Where your carbon dioxide is building up. Eventually, a person might pass out, but before the 4 hours, if you continue to hyperventilate like that. But I'm not sure what was going on, so I wouldn't want to speak to that. But one of the things is caffeine intake. So, when you're on the road, Stephen, you probably drank caffeine and then had all the energy and activity that goes with it. But then if you come home and consume the same amount, but you're in a quiet environment, that caffeine can trigger anxiety. So we do have to, it's called anxiogenic. So it will generate anxiety. But those persons who have anxiety and are prone to panic attacks, once you start sensing that your heart rate is up, that's when you think, oh my gosh, here it's coming, and then it sets it in full blast. So I'm not sure if the gentleman that the
drinks caffeine
had, I don't know what his caffeine intake was, but you also get caffeine from caffeinated sodas and things like that.
Right.
So he might take a look at that.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Super helpful.
Yeah. Maybe he'll follow up with us.
Yeah. Let us know. And if you're drinking a cup right now, we're so sorry.
Put it down.
This next one is from James. I've fallen hard for one of my straight friends. I'm out to everyone, by the way.
I'm out. Okay, so he's out of the closet,
yes.
I believe.
I like your explanation.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
No, he's out of the house.
He's out of gas. He called AAA.
I'm out of the closet, by the way. And last month, a mutual friend of ours asked me if we're boyfriends because we talk and spend most of the time together out of the whole friend group. We spend most of our time together out of all the friend group. Sorry, my cadence was weird. I replied with, what? No way. He's not gay. Now I'm self-conscious around them because I feel like I'm too obvious and not hiding my feelings well.
Well, I don't think that really expressed your feelings toward him, right?
Well, I mean, I'm
saying no way he's not gay.
I think when you're have feelings for someone, you're already on edge. So even something like that would make me worry.
Because he said, "Ask me if we're boyfriends."
Right, and if he said it in front of
I said, what? No way, he's not gay. I guess if he said it like that, then I'd be suspicious.
But I think
what's funny is the reverse usually happens, where they're like, what are you two, boyfriends? You're like, I'm not gay, I swear.
Right.
But he's saying the other guy's not gay, which I never heard of before.
Right.
No way, he's not gay.
Yeah, you usually hear it when people are teasing the straight guy.
Yeah, so the fact that he didn't jump in and said, I'm not gay, I mean, that's flattery to yourself, I think.
Oh, good point. I know I've had feelings for a friend before, and he finally told me he felt the same way.
It took 52 episodes of a podcast.
That's right. No, in all sincerity, I felt feelings for a friend, and I know how scary and hard that can be.
It was Kaylin.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about when it didn't go well.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, Caitlin was a friend. But anyways, I know that that's a very scary time. So I feel for you, James. But Dr. Deb, do you have any advice for James?
Well, I guess, he's thinking about his developing these feelings for his friend. He said he was developing an attraction for his friend, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess the blurting out, he's not gay, was concern. We think about ourselves, a concern of, oh my gosh, are my feelings showing? I've been trying not to show my feelings.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's I think that's what he's worried about.
Yeah. But he's also now
Dr. Deb,
worried.
it's
What?
he's also now worried what?
No, but he's also worried about blurting out he's not gay.
Right.
Right.
That's the impression I got from
Yeah,
what
which
you
I
were
don't think is a
saying.
problem. I don't think saying that is a problem, but I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, I think he's self-conscious about that. Is the statement, because the statement was made in defense to he continue to hide his feelings that are developing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. At some point, either feelings have to be shared,
Right.
or yeah. So it's a difficult situation.
When I have a when I was single and had a crush on a friend who was a girl, I'd play it too cool. I'd be like, you're ugly. I'd be like, try to overcompensate.
That sounds cool.
I would try to overcompensate my feelings by, make it seem like I'm not attracted to them at all.
Right.
Which would never work. I don't know why I thought that would work at all. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Exactly. Yeah. And our anxiety, causes us to say things that kind of worsen the situation or make ourselves or the other person more uncomfortable. And it's that the whole get these attractions, and you kind of get put in the position of, I don't want to ruin the friendship if I talk about
right. Yeah, that's where the stress comes in. Because if it was a stranger, I feel like it'd be easier.
Yeah, so it's kind of lose.
Oh my God, Dr. Deb, we're losing your connection.
Right?
I can't tell if you're dragging out your words or dragging out your router.
I guess I'm dragging out my router.
All right.
I need a rotor-rooter.
A router router.
A router-rooter. Can you hear me now?
You sound great now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is we have to turn around that lose-lose situation to a win-win situation, right? And so the best thing to do is just to approach a friend about the outburst, about, gee, I hope I didn't embarrass you when I made that statement.
I feel like, will that make it worse?
Well, that's the one.
I hope it didn't make it feel like I embarrassed you. I love you, by the way.
Let her say the rest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the one thing that's out there in the open, right? Is that statement. So,
right.
Maybe just say, I just wanted to ask how you felt about that statement that I made, and see what that person's reaction is.
Right.
But that's the one thing that's overt that you can approach and make for good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay.
All right. Okay.
That one. Well, Bossy Mayor wrote in.
Okay.
I have nothing to be anxious about, and that's making me anxious. It is funny when you're used to being anxious all the time.
I know that feeling because you're so programmed to having something to worry about. It's like a chew toy for your brain.
Yeah.
And when you don't have one, you're like, well, what am I supposed to do with my thinking?
Right. What's going on here?
Do you have any advice for that, Dr. Deb?
Yeah, I think that's common for people with anxiety because it's a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of commitment on your brain to pay attention to that.
Right.
So you're always like paying attention. So when a person says I'm anxious because I don't feel anxious, they might think, oh, that means something bad's gonna happen. Right.
Yeah.
So we have to learn that just because we think things don't mean that they're going to happen.
Right.
And that bad things don't always happen. We can have periods of calm, and it's going to be okay. So we have to fight those thoughts that, what's going to happen next, or it's not right that I feel this way. There are people that are in danger all the time. I should feel worried for them. So we have to just tie it in, close the windows and doors, and just be okay with ourselves without worry.
Yeah. That's great advice, Dr. Deb.
That's super helpful.
All right. Well, I think that concludes all the listener topics that we have time for. Keep writing in, everybody. We're going to get to everybody's one day. One day we're going to
we're doing good.
I think we're doing good. Yeah. Stephen, we got some tweets. You teased this on the Patreon, but you have a big announcement.
Oh, yeah. I might as well. I forgot all about it. On October 23rd and 24th, I'm very excited to say I will be opening for Brian Regan on his Netflix special taping.
Oh my good God! It's in Utah,
and Ivan's Utah or Irvin's Utah. I apologize if there's any Utah people listening, but yes, I'll be opening for him in an amphitheater.
So crazy.
Outside in the desert in Utah for Netflix.
For Netflix, the producers are going to be there. Hollywood glitz and glamour.
That's right.
And the stage is carved into a rock, isn't it?
Yes, it's carved into canyons. I'm so excited. I'm going to dress as Indiana Jones. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. So if you know anybody that's going, feel free to tell them about the podcast. They're not going for me, but you know.
Well, maybe you can get listeners tickets or something. Or, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, Netflix might be difficult.
Okay, never mind.
But still,
it's coming up.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I guarantee episodes will be coming all about this topic. So I'm very nervous and I'm very excited.
That's so cool. All right, well, Dr. Deb, thank you as always for listening to us and giving us great advice.
It's been a pleasure.
And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Dr. Deb.
Okay, take care, guys.
See you later.
Too. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Please write some reviews, share the podcast, tell any friend that even if they don't have anxiety, if they just love comedy or are looking for something to do during this weird time.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what we talk about is relatable to people without anxiety disorders.
Yeah, it's just
having to pee and.
You have to know somebody that's experienced stress. So, yeah, anyone that has bladder problems or has a hard time cooking chicken, please just send the podcast to them. We'd love to grow so we can do more things for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stay tuned for the outro.
Stay tuned. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Panic Attacking. Sorry, I had the pause between welcome and great. This is a podcast where we look at anxiety through a comedy lens. I'm Andrew Chavone.
And I'm Stephen Rogers.
We are joined by Dr. Deb, a resident nurse therapist who listens to us talk about our anxiety. We have some pretty great anxiety topics today.
Yeah.
I talk about my first long set since Corona and anxiety with having to pee when there's no bathroom.
I get into having a panic attack at home.
And we get into listener topics such as the anxiety of not having anxiety.
The anxiety of having feelings for a close friend.
And not being sure if they have feelings back.
Right.
And what was the last one? Worrying about how long a panic attack can be.
Right.
Which I think a person wrote in that they had one for 4 hours.
Yeah, we get into that, and it's a really fun episode. I had a great time. This is a good one.
I had a great time, too. We do this together. Dr. Deb Skypes in remotely.
Yes. Our next live show, before I forget, is October 9th. We have a very fun lineup. We've got Moody McCarthy.
Oh, my
Is
God.
going to be there, and Casey Balsham. It's going to be a great show.
Oh, cool.
And then I have to plug this. Also on October 14th, I'll be in Royersford, Pennsylvania. If anybody lives near that area, please come out. Hit me up for
Soul Joel's.
For the link. Yes, it's at Soul Joel's Comedy Lounge. It is outdoors, so it will be safe.
Awesome. And we have the Patreon. $5 a month gets you 4 episodes. $10 gets you the video and other stuff.
Yes, and message us if you want masks. We have panic attacking masks that we will be sending you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to mail them all to the people on the Patreon because I think we might have their address, but I'll confirm with them.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
All right.
Enjoy the episode.
Enjoy the episode. Stay tuned for the music.